Boost you! Hi, my name is Werner. I've been reading hundreds of books for you. Please subscribe to get them all. And watch until the end, where a surprise is waiting for you. Your mom can help you with that. Thank you. There were always scares in Toadsuck Swamp, but Curly Locks didn't pay them much mind. The scares kept to themselves. They only woke up at night, and the most annoying thing about them was their hooting and hollering. Sadly, the townsfolk ran the other way when she offered them batwing brownies, cat hair cupcakes, or toad-eye toffees. It was disappointing, but her mama just said, "Do what your heart loves." Well, her heart loved to cook. One night, Curly Locks left a pan of lizard skin lasagna cooling on the windowsill. When she returned, the dish was licked clean. She peered out into Toadsuck. Somebody out there likes my cooking. The next morning, the mayor was singing to himself as he sat down to breakfast when an itty-bitty scare opened the window and plopped right into the middle of his pancakes. It waggled its hairy little head. The mayor lit a blue streak out of that house and nearly knocked down the blacksmith. "Whoa there, Mr. Mayor, what's got you so shook? There's an itty-bitty scare sitting in the middle of my pancakes." "What's one of them critters doing out in daylight?" the blacksmith asked. "Who cares?" the mayor trembled. "I just want it out of my kitchen." The blacksmith laughed. "I'll knock that itty-bitty scare into next Tuesday." "I wouldn't go in there if I was you," the mayor whispered. "Well, you ain't me." The blacksmith stuck out his chest and strutted into the mayor's house. The itty-bitty scare was sitting in the middle of a big old mess on the mayor's table. The blacksmith was getting ready to snatch that critter up by his ear when he felt a tap-tap-tapping on his shoulder. The blacksmith cut out of that house and ran smack dab into the chicken rancher. "Why you all making such a fuss over one little scare?" asked the chicken rancher. "Because it's in my kitchen," the mayor snapped. Two scares," stammered the blacksmith. The second is bigger than the first." "Bah," said the chicken rancher. "All they ever do is hoot and holler. Don't you fret none. I'll handle it." "I wouldn't go in there if I was you," warned the blacksmith. "Well, you ain't me." The chicken rancher lifted his chin and swaggered into the mayor's house. Lickety-split, the chicken rancher snatched the itty-bitty scare by a tuft of hair and lassoed the other with his rope. "You scares don't scare me," he roared. The house started a shaking. The rancher's knees started a quaking. Thumb, thumb, whomp. Thumb, thumb, whomp. Gidgety-boo, gidgety-bong, gidgety-goo, gidgety-god. The chicken rancher nearly flew out of that house. "There's 3 of them," he hollered. "The last one's huge." Stories about the scares spread like a kerosene fire. Curlylocks was heading into town when she saw folks running through the streets. "Where you going?" she yelled. "There's scares wrecking the mayor's kitchen," the dressmaker hollered back. Curlylocks remembered the lizard skin lasagna that was leaked clean from her windowsill. She thought, "I bet nobody's tried cooking for them. I better get over there right away." A frightful din was coming out of the mayor's house when Curlylocks arrived. "Easy there, little lady," the mayor called. "There's 3 scares in there," the blacksmith added. "I hear them," Curlylocks replied. "I'm gonna make them something to eat." "Bless your heart," said the innkeeper. "That don't sound like a good idea." "Maybe it is," the barber exclaimed. "Her cooking could drive anything away." Curlylocks walked up the front steps. "I wouldn't go in there if I was you," yelled the chicken rancher. "Well, you ain't me." And with that, Curlylocks clutched her basket, squared her shoulders, and marched into the house. The door shut behind her, and the scares got quiet. Curlylocks peeked into the kitchen. It was a frightful mess. She got her big-bellied pot on the pot-bellied stove, took out possum grease and toadstool, and set to work. The cupboard burst open, and an itty-bitty scare jumped out. "Gitchy-boo, gitchy-bong, gitchy-goo, gitchy-gone." Curlylocks didn't bat an eye. "I'll go if you like, but if I do, you'll never get a taste of my famous boo stew." "Boo stew? Oh!" The itty-bitty scare sat down at the table and banged his bowl and spoon together. Said Curlylocks. "First we clean off the table, then we wash our hands." Curlylocks was adding powdered beetle and lizard spit to the pot when she felt a tap-tap-tapping on her shoulder. "Gitchy-boo, gitchy-bong, gitchy-goo, gitchy-gone." Curlylocks stiffened, but didn't let on that she was startled. "I'll go if you like, but if I do, you'll never get a taste of my famous boo stew." "Boo stew? Oh!" The middling scare clapped his scaly hands. "Clean the floor first," said Curlylocks, "then set the table." Curlylocks added moose ear broth, toenail clippings, and gnat juice. Thump, thump, whomp. Thump, thump, whomp. The biggest, thumpiest, whompiest scare of all came a gnashing his scare teeth, a waggling his scare claws, and a clomping his scare feet. "Gitchy-boo, gitchy-bong, gitchy-gone." Curlylocks gripped her spoon so tight it nearly snapped in two. I'll go if you like, but if I do, you'll never get a taste of my famous boo stew. Boo stew? Oh! That big scare licked his jaws in anticipation. Clean the ceiling, please. By the time the kitchen was put right, the stew was piping hot and ready to eat. Curly Locks took a taste and smiled. I hope you all are hungry, 'cause this might just be the best batch of boo stew east of the Mississippi. Those scares ate until they were full as ticks in high summer. They licked their fingers, they licked their toes, they licked each other's toes. Curly Locks didn't mind their sorry manners. Why, she'd never seen a single soul enjoy her cooking so. Carry yourselves on back to Toadsuck Swamp, cooed Curly Locks, and I'll make boo stew and lots of other things for you and your friends every night. Some say that was the finest deal ever struck in those parts. The scares got themselves a heap of delicious food. With their bellies full, they didn't spend all night hooting and hollering. The townsfolk got plenty of sleep now that Toadsuck was quiet. The mayor got a fine tale to tell for years to come. And Curly Locks? She got a lot of hearty eaters who appreciated her cooking. That was the best thing of all. Enjoy my new series Oliver and Jumpy. 19 video books with about 500 pictures. There's text, but I also read it aloud for the younger children. I have written 65 stories and had them illustrated at great cost for your children's fun. Oliver is an elegant tomcat and Jumpy is his lady friend. Oliver loves to ride in Jumpy's pouch when they go for adventures together. Please find a link to the first book in the description of this video. Please always subscribe and like if you find my effort interesting. Thank you so much.